In today's episode, we're going after the 5 myths around personal brand that will cause you to resist personal brand and downplay it, say it doesn't matter, it's not that important. That's what I was doing. That's how I know this. These are the 5 things that I was believing that was causing me to resist personal brand, when in fact embracing personal brand may be the one best thing for you to focus on this year to take your business into your life and your life to the next level. So the first thing, let's define what personal brand is. It's a story that comes to mind when people think of you. That's it. So when the phone rings, when they see you on Facebook, social media, when they see your name, what's the story that comes to mind when they think of you? So one of the things I've discovered as I've been embracing personal brand instead of resisting it after many years is that everybody has a personal brand. It's just a matter of, am I being intentional to help people think about me in a way that I desire them to think when they come across my name? Or am I leaving it to random chance, saying that they'll figure it out and somehow they'll know what I'm an expert in, and just loosey-goosey, no strategy, because I don't really believe personal brand matters. Well, your name matters, your personal brand matters. And I identified, better than just coming on here from my backyard on this beautiful day on my patio to share with you about personal brand, instead of just saying, hey, personal brand's great, embrace it, do these things, I thought, well, Chris, what are the lies? Like, what's the myths that I was really believing that was actually causing me to resist personal brand for so long? I've been an entrepreneur almost 2 decades now, and I remember when I was a young guy in the real estate office, and being 41 years of age, I'm not in my 20s anymore, right? I'm not the young guy in the office anymore. And why is this important is because one of the things I was saying, I wonder if you have found yourself saying these types of things. Well, social media, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all of those platforms online, that's for the younger folks. That's not really for me. And I disqualify myself due to my age. Maybe you find yourself saying things like that. Well, here's the 5 myths that I was believing. The first one is something like this: I don't have anything to say that already hasn't been said before. Like, surely the input I have to give, somebody else that's probably more sharp, more experienced, more successful has already said it. So why should I really say it? Well, here's what I know to be true is that, sure, the Bible says that there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, maybe there is something you have to say that somebody has said it before. And yet, I think your stories, your background, your experience, how you say it, you are uniquely wired and gifted to serve certain people. And I think those people may only be attracted to the message, and they won't get the message unless they hear it from you because of how you say it, the person you are. So I would say you're uniquely hardwired. Each one of us is uniquely gifted and talented to serve all of the people that God has in mind for us to serve. So let's get over that myth. Let's get past that one. The next myth I was believing is that, it seems complicated. Posting online, to me, whether it was video or photos or a combination, it just seemed overwhelming. It seemed like I was afraid of doing too much or too little. Do I post, do I post a video? Do I post, like, what is it I post? It felt overwhelming. And all of us, when we start to feel overwhelmed, when things feel complicated and confusing, guess what we do as human beings? We shut down. We make no decisions. And so instead of buying into the myth that personal brand, social media is complicated and overwhelming, what if I just say, hey, I just need a content strategy? The third one is, no one will care about what I have to say, and it'll be just a waste of time. Well, I think this really ties in with the first myth that I shared about what is it that I have to say that hasn't been said before. Well, here's what I could tell you, is that some people won't care. But what about all of the ones that will care? Let's focus on them and trust that all of the right people that are interested in what you have to say, maybe interested in a product or service you have, will be attracted to the content that you create. So let's move to trust that all the right people will be attracted to the content you create instead of getting hung up and worrying about it being a waste of time and most people don't care. By the way, I heard this a few years ago and it really helped me get set free in my mind. I don't know what it's called, but let's call it the rule of 33. 33 people, 33% of the general population will not like you at all. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, they don't like you. However, 33% of the population will like you. They'll buy into what you say and they'll believe you and trust you. Those are probably your people, by the way. And then the other 33%, it's this. No matter what you say and what you do, no matter your strategy or not, they don't care. They're never going to hear about you. They just don't care. You're not going to win them over either way. So what if instead of focusing on the people that will never care about what you say, you can't win with them, and the people that will always be critical and never be your people, what if we trust that by having a strategy and by embracing personal brand, all of the right people that God has in mind to work with you will be attracted to you and will find you when you become more findable online. Number 4, the other myth that I was believing was this. I don't want to be judged by what others think. My personality type is on a disc profile, D as in dog, ISC. Tony Robbins has a complimentary disc profile. If you've never taken it, I've helped hundreds of people review that after taking that assessment. I would encourage you to take that because maybe you're like me, you're a high I as in igloo personality style. You know what our biggest fear is? If you're a person that likes to not motivate, but inspire, challenge, coach, mentor, come along people's side to encourage them, you're probably a high I on that disc profile. You know what our biggest fears are as a high I? Rejection. So you could be hardwired to be a little bit more sensitive, more aware of people being critical or being judged by people. And yet, what if we let go of what people may think because we have a deeper identity and we no longer hang on the affirmation of others? We know who we are on an identity level. That helps us become free from other people's opinions. Now, the last one is this. What if I look stupid and people make negative comments? Do you see the connection between these 5? Now that we're on the 5th one, the connection is a concern about not seeing the value in my own experiences and what I have to say that could be helpful to someone else. There's a little bit of fear, insecurities around that. And then also this fear or maybe even this concern about being overly concerned about other people's opinions. Maybe this year is a year like no other because you choose to embrace personal brand like never before. You get a content strategy and you start getting systematic in your approach to help people be reminded of you, that you exist, that you're there. It's amazing to me, and what a gift that we live in a day of age, that we live in a time where somebody across the world could happen to come along one of your videos, one of your posts, and hear about your product or service, or maybe it's some of your community service hours that you have on your YouTube channel, the stuff that you do just because you care about people. Isn't it amazing that somebody could stumble across that online and you could serve them, and yet you may never meet them in person, and they could live half the world away? I remember, last story is, I remember I was logging in on my Amazon to check my Amazon book sales. I do that about once a week. I love the idea that Amazon once a month sends me a check because I've sent them so much money over the years. And as much as I love them, I logged in and I checked online sales. And usually with book sales, it's Canada or United States and Canada. But this one Thursday was different. Not only was it United States and Canada, but guess what? Somebody in Poland across the world, I don't even know where Poland is. I just know that it's not near Kansas City, Missouri, where I live. Somebody clear across the world came across my book, read the headline, and thought, this is the book for me. I wonder who it is that you could serve in the area of your expertise around the world that may never meet you. You could help them, and they would be maybe even willing to buy your product or service if only they know you existed. One of the things that I now appreciate about personal brand that's causing me to stop focusing on the lies and myths I was believing that's causing me to embrace it is this, is that people would be thrilled to work with you, maybe even hire you, buy products or services from you, if only they could find you. I trust today's been helpful. If one of these myths or lies you could find yourself believing, if you hear yourself as I share those, I want to let you know I get it. You're not alone, and yet this may be a season where it's time to let go of those myths because they could be holding you back from the plan and potential that God has for you this year. Let me know if one of those you identified with that you could relate to, and then let's overcome it so you can move forward. We'll see you next time.